So welcome back to the James Wingfield Racing channel. Tonight we've got some more race highlights for you after a couple of weeks of tutorials for sim racing bits and pieces with data analysis and even some livery paint jobs. We're back to some of the exciting stuff. We've had our third night now of the JWR Race Supporters Club Night. 5 more races, all different cars, all different tracks. A whole load of new people turned up as well this time, which was great to see. We've had plenty of new winners. I won't give away too much what happens just yet. Fortunately, Jake Olver is one of the guys in the group, and he's managed to put together some video highlights for us all again. So I'm going to have a quick look through them now, and we can run through with you guys all the action. Let's see what happened.
James Wingfield steals it.
So here we go, starting off as always with the MX-5s. We are at Charlotte on the small infield course actually this time round. Plenty of new guys out here, new faces at the very front as well. So although actually Jake Olver is on pole, we've got Henning and Boomsma in second and third, and they're immediately fighting maybe a little bit too hard into each other there and into the wall, which gives me second place, so that's all good. But Boom Boom, as we affectionately call him, Brian Boomsma gets going, and as is true to his name, we get straight into another incident in turn 2. But I'm sure he's going to recover from that. He's a very quick driver, and we'll see him placing on the podium a bit later. Straight into now another couple of corners later, Eric Hanoi, another new driver from us, a bit of a radical specialist, but looks like he got that one wrong, and Matt Cook was the unlucky recipient of an MX-5 in his boot, which spins him round, unfortunately. Now straight away we've got here Henny in the sort of white and blue car, coming back through the pack, having a good little battle here. That's Matt Trumpets on his left from the Missed Apex podcast guys. And he's recovering, looks like he's bringing a cone with him as well. And Trumpets does a bit of grass cutting, comes back online, just misses Henny, who gets a place and past one of the Co-Action support guys as well. Co-Action Sim Racing team is another group of guys out there. What have we got later on? Brian Boomsma, so he's recovering back through the pack as well after that lap 1 incident with Henny. On the left hand side, can he get the switch back? Yes he can, nicely done. That's another place, thank you very much. Makes it stick. And here, fun guess, just catches that wall and sails across the track, and this was a bit scary. So you can see the red carpet head, that's me, I'm coming around in the lead with Luca Harrison right on my tail, and as we come around that corner there's a car actually coming towards us, which was a bit of a surprise, didn't expect to see that. Now we've got Henny again still coming back through the field. This is young Dan Robbins, he's racing now for the back spot of the podium. Looks like Henny's got a run on the left hand side, runs a bit too wide. So Dan Robbins comes back at him, takes the place back. Can we do anything else? Not here. Ducks back in as we go into this last corner, really tight this corner as it ducks back off the oval onto the infield, and Dan Robbins runs a little bit wide, Henny comes through and he makes it stick. So that I think was the final podium position settled in Henny's favour. He started chasing down the leaders, but we were fighting amongst ourselves. He could never quite catch us though. So this is Luca Harrison, another youngster who's joining us for the first time. Tries to get the undercut on me there, but the right hander following means I can defend it quite nicely. A few laps later, a similar kind of approach. Takes the tight exit, but it means I can stay on the right hand side and defend as we come into this right hander, so still nothing happening. A little bit of a run, but that's covered off. And then I think this is the one that he actually makes it stick, so third time's a charm. Great move this, he just threw it up the inside so late on the brakes. I thought he was going to run wide, so I was all ready to get the cut back and switch back underneath on the exit, but he did a really good job, slowed the car down just enough, and that took it. There were a couple of laps after that, but it was line astern, so yeah, Luca takes the first win of the night, which was great to see for a new driver. So next up, Fast and Frantic Legends cars. We've used them before on dirt, this time we're using them on tarmac at Oran Park. And straight off the bat you can see here how nippy these things are. We follow Matt Cook as there's a bit of excitement at turn 1. These things are so agile, they're really good cars to drive actually. I think Jake runs these a bit in another series that he does, so maybe a bit of a specialist. We'll see if he features later on. But certainly the first few corners of this race very tight. This time Conway goes up the inside a gap, sort of isn't quite there, just gets it wrong. Looks like most people survive it though, which is good. Now what have we got? We've got, yeah, Oliver versus Hannah. So Jake goes for the left-hand side, the switchback, lays down some rubber. And 2x2 through here, I have to say, is amazing to do because it's so tight that. It's a really tight and twisty chicane. Jake stuck on the outside, hung out to dry a little bit, and Eric, who's a very accomplished racer, comes back through, takes the place away. Or keeps the place in this case. Distance. Another lap or two later, this is me in the red car, Luca Harrison and then Jake Olver. As we come round turn 1, Luca tries to come up alongside, we have a little touch, bit sideways and then just fired across. That was a bit of a shock for me, I have to say. I was just going along, minding my own business, and big spin round. I was lucky there, I got away quite quickly, so I'm off to chase down Jake. Luca got stuck in the pack a little bit. Conway here up the inside of, I think that might be Henny in the Simpsons car. Some great liveries out there. We've got a few more liveries coming as well. I think Jim Marabello, who races with us, is maybe putting together a few special liveries for us for the next month. And another switchback by the looks of this. So this is Jake and Eric still fighting. Jake gets the switchback, a bit like last time. This time he makes it stick though, gets a cleaner exit. No need for side by side, and that's all his. Excellent. So at the end, I think there's a bit of chaos here going on. Jim parks it very neatly on top of the tyres, I have to say, as there's some donuts in the background and cars going everywhere. At the end of that one, it was a good race, that one, and Henny and Brian make up for their first race with a 1-2 in this case. John Lang picks up third. So time for a bit of American muscle now as we go back to Charlotte again. This time though we're on the oval course in the Chevrolet NASCAR trucks. These things are really fast, very sketchy on the back end though. I think the fact that they're trucks means there's no weight over the back wheels, so they get a bit lively. And I'm sure we'll see some of that. Off the line we go. This time Luke is a bit unlucky, spins out right at the beginning, comes back onto the track, but fortunately doesn't collect anyone. So mostly a clean start. And then we are a couple of laps in, lap 2 now. Tom Guest, making sure everyone's awake. This gives you a real idea of the closing speeds that you get. As you see, he's stationary there, the car's coming past either side. Man, it's really scary, even in a simulator. I don't know how people do this in real world. It must be something else to do in real life. You see here, Conway's perspective gets it a bit well into the wall, sideways through the gap. Does really well to hang on to that and keep going. A few more places either side. It keeps it fundamentally going in the right direction. Now we've got Jim going for the gap. Jim Marabello. Not quite finding it. It just closes up on him and fires him into the pit lane. I think just to make matters worse though, he got done for speeding in the pit lane, so I had a penalty on top of that. And as he rolls into the wall, he gets stuck as well. So a triple whammy there for Jim, unfortunately. At least we've got 5 races in the night, so we can come back. Tom Guest having a bit of an interesting race in these ones, by the looks of it. Another incident. Loses it into the wall and just spins round and round and round and round. Must be 4 or 5 times at least. That is, yeah, quite a big one there. As you can see, we've not got damage on, so this nosing into the barrier, he does get away with it. Yeah, if that's the right terminology, I don't know. At least he can carry on and keep racing, anyway. And then at the end, I'm doing a bit of drifting at the end. Spins across the line and fired up into the sky through the TV screen. And into thin air by the looks of it. So from the NASCAR Oval this time round, it was Brian who takes the win. Henny in second and me in third. So that's 3 winners now in 3 races, which is always good to see. Now we got some pretty serious stuff going on here. Indy Cars at Okayama. These are very fast cars. It's good that they're free actually in iRacing. A lot of cars aren't, but these are probably the quickest free cars that we've got. So these and the Radicals we tend to save for some of the more kind of serious races. In turn 1 you see already we've got a bit of an incident towards the back and another spin in the midfield. And then we've got a few cars everywhere. The chaos now. Look, 3 into 1 does go in this instance. It's a bit unusual. Normally you get contact there. Bit of a glitch, never mind. So a few laps in, well, actually late on the same lap. Conway goes for a pass on Curtis, I think that is. It's nice for me, I find the gap to follow him through. We'll take that all day long. And now what have we got? Henny on the right hand side, 3 wide through these very tight hairpins. This is really good driving actually. 3 wide and they all come away with it still intact. That was excellent, good to see. And Conway lobs it up the inside, can't quite slow it down, so I let him go and get the switchback. It's a bit switchback heavy this evening, isn't it? But it seems to be working, so I get that place back. And now an unusual sight of a Henny spinning. In this instance, looks like he reverses back on in front of the other cars as well. Not the best rejoin, but maybe we'll let him off as he doesn't spin very often, so maybe he doesn't get the practice that we all do. And that one was that. So what did we see there? We saw John Lang taking the honours in this one from Luca and Gary Thomas. So Gary's a regular racer who's been with us from the beginning, so good to see him back on the podium too. So we're into the last race now of the night, which is the Radicals as always, and this time we're at Summit Point. It's great to see a few new members tonight, and a couple of them, Eric and Dennis, have joined us from the Radical Official Series, so they are sure to feature in this race. So as we get going, Luca a bit unlucky again off the start, just gets tagged into a little bit of a spin, which takes him out of the running. And then down to turn one, we get a bit of concertinaing and another spinner up front, which takes out a few more, a bit more chaos. I know I'm all for that because it puts me up into a nice third place. So we've got Eric Hanoi out in front and Dennis out second at the moment, and they're the specialists, so it's going to be tough to catch them. What have we got going on now? Dan Robbins and Andy Murray, tit for tat here. These guys are both great friends in real life, and they race with me actually in the Schumacher racing team for the remote control car clubs. In this case, Robbins gets it wrong, then Murray gets it wrong afterwards to give the place back. I can't speak though because look, turn 4, I've run wide as well, and that's cost me a chance at racing for P2, which was a bit unfortunate. Managed to hang on to the place I've got though, just about. And then Matt Cook wants to have a look as well to see what all the fuss is about. Tries out the grass just for good measure. Easily done there. Very tricky turn 4. It's sort of braking it and turning on the way in, and very easy to lose the rear end. Although I have to say this is a great move from Nathan Goodburn, another RC driver. Up the inside there into the tricky turn 4, and then as we go into 5, round the outside. Just hangs on the outside, just manages to stick it out, and hangs out round the next corner as well to take the place nice and cleanly. So 2 places and 2 corners. Great to see. You can see now as the night is closing on us, Tom Guest does make the very same move pretty much, up the inside into 4, slightly further ahead into 5, but runs a little bit wide, manages to get the drive on the exit, so he sticks to the place and yeah, banks that. Thank you very much. So yeah, that was the action from this time. You can see at the end of the Radical race it was Eric Hanoi who takes the lead from Dennis Kyriakopoulos. Apologies if I'm not saying it correctly, but that's how I think it's said. And I pick up third, which was nice. I've got to keep the points coming in somehow. So that's it from us tonight. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Lots of action, lots of excitement. As ever, if you want to get involved in any of these nights or anything else that we're doing on YouTube, Instagram and everywhere else, just ping me a message. We've got a great Discord group, really friendly, lots of fun chat and banter. And everybody's there to help each other out. So we're all making each other faster in the sim world, all having more fun, and yeah, every month or so we're going to put together these races. They're all free to enter, so if you want to get involved, jump on board. I've already got a few ideas for the next months, different cars and tracks to use. We could try something a little bit different as well, so keep an eye out for that. If you do want to get involved, the 20th of March is when we think we're going to be holding it, so make sure to get in touch before then. And all that's left really for me to do is say thanks everyone for taking part and making it what it was. It was a really good fun night. Thanks again to Jake for putting the video highlights together. And I'm just going to close out by pulling up the Hall of Fame that we're keeping record of. There we go. You can see John Lang is leading the way with 5 race wins. None of the rest of us can touch that at the moment. Only 2 each for the next sort of 3 or 4 drivers. That said, there's a lot of new names on this sheet that have only raced with us for one night, so I'm sure that the likes of Brian and Danny are going to be climbing up that board. Luca too didn't get so lucky this time out, but a very quick driver. I'm sure there are going to be plenty of race wins in it for them. It looks like I need to do a bit of work on turning these third places into first and seconds. Maybe a bit less consistency and a bit more pace for me next time out. We'll see what we can do. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to leave it there. Thanks guys. I'll see you next time.